Hey guys, welcome back to We Met at Acme. I'm so excited to be here with author, designer, TV star Nate Berkus. Hi.
Hey, thank you for having me today.
Thanks for coming. So we always start with the same question, which is what is your favorite romantic gesture? So this is like for someone to do for you.
Oh, wow. I have a really long list of things that I like
Let's
people to
hear it.
do for me. I will say it's a simple thing, but not really because of the meaning packed behind it. But since I met Jeremiah, my husband, 13 years ago, every morning that we're together, there's hot coffee on my nightstand.
It's really
That's it.
nice.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You don't really
Mhm.
need anything after that because
Mhm.
it's everything. It's like, here, have a
Starts your
great day.
Yeah, it starts your day off right.
Yep,
It's a nice act of service.
it is.
I
It
love
is.
that. How did you and Jeremiah meet?
Rachel Zoe
Huh.
he worked for Rachel Zoe. He was on her show.
Yeah.
And she said to me, she called me and she was like, oh my God, we just hired this guy. He's so cute. We call him Baby Nate in the office. She's like, and I know that you would love him. Like, I actually think you would really love him. And I was like, wait, because I'm like a narcissist. Like, what's the connection? Because you
Yeah.
call him Baby Nate? Because I'm like, I'm a vampire. I'm going to like drink his blood. What's the plan? And also, Rachel, I'm dating one of your really good friends. And she was like, no, I know, but I'm just saying, not saying you should do anything about it. I just think, I don't know, I think I'm right. And so we met at her 40th birthday party here in New York City years later. And we were both dating other people. Nothing happened. We exchanged information. And then 2 years after that, we were both single. And he was in New York because he lived in LA. And he reached out and we went on a date in the daytime. And we're still together.
I love that. And also, I think daytime dates are underrated.
I do too.
Like, it doesn't always have to be getting drinks
No,
and at a bar.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not into that. I mean, I did that obviously, but I was like
Mhm.
I was a bit of a loose cannon when I was single in New York City. It didn't
Yeah.
go well for me. I didn't really get the dating thing here at all.
Mm. What made Jeremiah different than the people that you had dated in the past?
He, well, two things. One, I was a little bit insecure about whether or not he was too young. So I brought him to this dinner with a group of friends of mine of here in New York, um, at Acme, actually, which is
No
so
way.
random. Yes.
So funny.
And that was our first dinner in New York. And at the table was like a fake Saudi princess, a Brazilian architect dating a Portuguese art dealer, my girlfriend Marjorie, who's a DJ, super well-known DJ, and an Iranian friend of ours. And it was like this weird night. And I looked at Marjorie, who I've known for a million years, and I was like, am I like, is he age appropriate? Or am I like one of those gross old gay guys at like the Delta check-in counter, like 2 first-class tickets to Puerto Vallarta, please? And she was like, no, he's an old soul, lock it down. So she was right. And I did, but he was an old soul and he still
Mhm.
is an old soul. And our children are old souls, which is
Yeah.
really kind of interesting. But there was something about him that felt like home.
Mhm. It's really special.
Yeah. From day one.
So you're a Virgo, he's a Sag?
He's a Sag. Yeah.
Is he a typical Sag from
Yeah.
what you know?
Super, like
Mhm.
unbelievably. Yes.
Mhm.
And I, basically in moments of self-actualization have to apologize to him for living with me
Yeah.
because I like have nothing else in my sign. I'm Virgo, Virgo moon, Virgo rising,
Mhm.
everything.
Okay, so I'm Virgo rising, so
You
we have
are.
that in
You
common.
behave apparently like your rising sign.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
So
true.
so there's no. I mean, he's like, why? Like, why are you down in the basement again?
Right. Why are
What
you
could
like this?
possibly need to go into another labeled container?
Was it really important to you to find someone who had, as a designer who knows style and all of that? Was that important to you when you were looking for a partner? Or were you like, I can always fix whatever I have to fix?
Um, no, it wasn't important at all. I just wanted to be with somebody who I respected and trusted and felt like would be a good parent. But if I was dating somebody with tastes that I didn't agree with, then I would hope that they wouldn't be like super confident in their taste.
Mm-hmm.
He has very different taste than I do, we've managed over 13 years of being together to figure out what our joint style is. And I think we do really well with that, and it's fun. And we've moved 20 times. So it's become like second nature to us to battle over things and navigate each other's preferences over design decisions and stuff. But it's fun. Like, it's really fun to have a partner that's also like a huge area of interest for them.
Right.
I've never really had that before. I've dated creative people and everything, but not somebody who was like, look at this console I found at an auction in Genoa. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. So we definitely connect, and we enjoy that part of our relationship.
We explain moving 20 times. Do you just get easily bored, or?
So not really. I didn't move that often before he entered into the picture, but I think that he I actually can't tell. I mean, a lot of those were like places that we rented for a year, and then, but you're still moving. There's still a truck involved. But we've owned a lot of homes, and we've sold a lot of homes, and we like embarrassed ourselves a couple of times with like Architectural Digest being like, this is our forever home, and that's why we made all these decisions. And then we like sell it like a year later. But I think, to be honest with you, I think we were probably motivated more by money than and geography. We went to LA for 3 years and then hated it and moved back to New York. But yeah, I mean, money's a big motivator when you're both designers and you're crafting these spaces, and somebody comes along, they're not even on the market, and they're like, oh, we would do anything to live here.
Right,
what do you
right,
do? You're like,
right.
no, I don't want to move my tea drawer. Like, no, you pack you
Right. Oh my God.
put stuff in a box and you leave.
I can't even imagine getting a place that you have already like done.
It's happened to a lot of people.
That's such luck. And I mean, that would be amazing. So when you guys first started dating, Jeremiah was living in LA.
Yeah,
So you were long distance.
we were.
How did you make that work? Because I always get questions about long distance relationships.
We made it work because there was no game
Yeah.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
We knew when we were going to see each other, and while we were together, we knew the next time we were going to see each other. We spoke every morning and every evening before bed. I knew what he was doing. He knew what I was doing. He knew who I was with. I knew who he was with. And we knew right away that our relationship was a priority. And so all of that like guesswork, all of that like wondering, both of us don't have the personality to navigate that.
Mm-hmm.
And it became really clear the first time, like, I offered information and it was received so graciously, and vice versa, that we knew how to navigate each other. We rented a place in LA because he wasn't really ready to leave LA initially. And I am from California, but had never lived there like as a grown up. And so I really wanted to try it as well. And we loved it. And we had business out there and stuff to do. And we would spend half and half kind of back and forth. But it just, I guess the real answer to that is like, there's so many insecurities, there's so many pitfalls, there's so much uncertainty about long distance. So if that person really matters to you and their comfort and their sanity is a priority to you, then whatever you can do to circumvent any doubt or any confusion, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, the communication has to be there.
Yeah,
so crucial.
it's yeah. I mean, it still has to be there, and we wake up next to
Right.
each other almost every day.
Right.
But
No, so
it
true.
was a good launching pad. I didn't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of those people that like wants to go sit in a restaurant with a book by myself
Mm-hmm.
or go to a movie by myself. Like, I loathe that. He would kill for that kind of independence.
I love that too.
You do? Oh,
Yeah.
yuck. No way. I always am like, do you want to join me? But I think that he, we're probably a little codependent,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, as a couple. We always have been.
Yeah. It's really good that you're aware of that. I feel like I have so many friends of mine who we all say like they're so codependent with each
Yeah.
other and they have no clue.
They're not aware of it at all.
But no, it's sweet. I mean, like, so we also talk about this thing that actually, do you know who Dan Savage is?
Yeah, of course.
So he came on the pod. He was great.
Was he?
And he told me this thing that he has for his partner, which is all about paying the price to ride the ride. So like everyone has a thing and you just have to deal with it. Like he was saying, his partner, opens all the drawers and never closes them or whatever.
Right.
Like my husband opens a new milk even though there's a milk
That would
open
make me
because
insane.
insane.
Yeah. Do you
Or
need
like
like a divorce attorney?
no,
Okay.
literally. So what is the price that you pay with Jeremiah? What's his thing?
I follow him around the house picking up like his dirty clothes.
Yeah.
Like every time he changes. It's like it's actually I can't even believe that somebody wouldn't like I still can't believe it.
Yeah.
And I used to get really mad about it and then get like passive aggressive and like make like weird angry jabs at him for no reason. And then one day we actually had a huge fight about it and he was like, "But I do all these other things."
Right.
And I was like, he's like, "You stay in bed in the morning. I, get the kids ready for school, make breakfast every day, make sure there's groceries in the refrigerator. Like you can't like fine, it's annoying to you, but like fuck off." And I was
Right.
like, "Right,
Yeah.
fuck off."
Exactly.
So
He said
that's
that
the
well.
price I pay.
Uh-huh. So you said that you thought that he would make a good parent. Did you always know that you wanted to have a family?
I did, but I never wanted to do it alone.
Mm.
I felt like kids with same-sex parents already would have enough challenge around it. And I felt like having like a really strong partnership and a really strong foundation at home would be really important. It almost felt like having kids alone would be, at least for me, selfish. I really wanted a partner to bounce ideas off of and everything. And I really picked the right one. Like he's an incredible, incredible parent. And our daughter calls him edamame because like, he straddles like mom, dad, his Google search could get him arrested. It's like vagina. We have a daughter who's 10. Like he knows more than anyone I've ever met. And he's really great and he's incredibly consistent. I'm more like the fun one. But he's also fun and he's also sweet. And when the kids fall down and get hurt, they run to him. And I think that that's such a testament to be the disciplinarian and the really consistent one, but the one that you want to go to when you scrape your knee.
Yeah, that's really sweet. What was the process like for you guys to get to start your family? I know it's not an easy one. I have friends who are going through it now. I have friends who just went through it.
Yeah.
And some have gotten really lucky with like amazing people
Yeah.
and amazing, just process, amazing agency, all the things.
Yeah.
And some, are like, I would do it differently the next time.
Yeah. We would do it exactly the same
Mm-hmm.
for both children. We worked with an agency, Growing Generations, out of California.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, it wasn't legal here in New York.
Right, which is so crazy. Didn't it just become
in New York? Yeah, Andy Cohen had like a huge part in lobbying and making that happen. But it was not legal, and both of our surrogates were based in California. And that's another reason why we were spending so much time in California, because we wanted to go to every doctor's appointment and all of that. My boundary issues were different than his when we started with our daughter. I was really nervous that we'd be like, buying a house for the surrogate's sister or for her or whatever. And I had like all my weird Oprah boundaries from 1,000 years ago up. And he was like, "This is the greatest gift that anyone can give us. You do your weird shit over there. I'm going to do this my way." And he was right. Like, we worked with two different surrogates for both kids. I am so base level grateful that they gave us this gift.
Yeah.
The agency that we worked with was like kind of top notch. Like you have to be gainfully employed. Surrogacy can't be your only source of income. You don't have to be married, but you have to designate like one person who signs the contract as your like emotional support person throughout the process.
Yeah.
And you also have to have your own kids, which is an interesting thing in surrogacy because I think it does something to the process when you're focused on your own family, but you're carrying or you're helping somebody else start their family. The boundaries are a little bit different emotionally.
Yeah, that's interesting because I had heard that a surrogate has to have given birth once, but I've never heard that they have to actually have a kid of their own.
For the agency that we worked with, those were the 3 requirements.
I think that's really smart.
I did too.
Yeah.
I thought it was really great. But we're still in touch with our surrogates because someday, we don't know. Every child is different.
Right.
But we want our kids to be able to reach out to them someday and be like, "What was I like in the belly?" We can tell them, but we didn't feel it.
Right.
So I think, maintaining those relationships is really is really, really special. And we
Totally.
had the most beautiful experience with both children.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky. Do your kids ask questions about that yet, or too
Our
young still?
daughter at her school in New York City, when she was younger, the kids would ask her, "Are you adopted?" Or,
Mhm.
you know, "Why don't you have a mom?" And there was a book called And Tango Makes Three about these two male penguins that raised a daughter in the Central Park Zoo. And it's actually a real story. And Tango still lives in the Central Park Zoo
Aw.
in the penguin habitat. And the teacher at her school reached out and said, I'm hearing this a little bit. And are there any books or anything that I could read to the class? And we said, oh yeah, there's this amazing book called Tango, but please don't like call Poppy like to task around it. Just
Right.
act like you're reading that book that day. And she's like, of course. So she started reading it, and Poppy was in first grade, and she went up to the front of the class and she said, this is my favorite book. This will explain my family. Once I'm done reading this, then no one should ask me questions because you'll understand. And then she read it to the class, and then she went next door to the other class and read it to them because her words in first grade, I just wanted to nip it in the bud, Dad.
Oh my gosh.
So yes, our children have asked. Our children know that we needed help to create
Yeah.
our family, and that these two amazing women helped us, and that they were wanted from the very beginning, and
Yeah.
that we feel blessed and lucky and grateful every day to have the family that we do. It was a real joining of obviously of science, of social change at the time, and of love.
That's so sweet. She sounds like such a gem.
She's really
When are your
scary.
kids' birthdays?
They're both Aries.
Oh my God. It's incredible.
I know, it's a little bit wild.
That's wild. Well, also so compatible for your husband.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. My sister's an Aries. They're nuts, but I love them
That
so
nuts.
much.
And Aries women are like so strong. It's crazy.
And also Aries thrive when they're young.
Yes, they do.
So that's awesome.
It's like a quick
for your
start.
kids. Exactly. How would you say your relationship with Jeremiah kind of shifted post kids, if it did at all? Because, I can say firsthand, and I actually saw a TikTok last night that was like, this woman was like, anyone who says their relationship isn't affected at all after kids, she's like, I don't want to know you. I don't want to be your friend.
I don't want to hang out. My answer is going to annoy you then. I definitely fell more in love with him watching him as a parent.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to remember the trenches when you
Yes.
were just trying to keep them alive, like that I remember because I'm closer to it. And I was
Right.
like, I hated my husband for the first 3 months.
Well, but you carried and delivered.
That's true.
And
so I
that's
had
different.
the emotion,
Like
the
Oprah once
hormones.
asked us what was the
Mhm.
best part of surrogacy, and Jared went into this beautiful answer, and I was like, tequila. Like I was hammered until they handed us a baby. So, I mean, carrying a baby and the
Yeah.
changes with your body and
Mm.
physically, like all this stuff. I mean, like I can't even imagine. Like,
Right.
he didn't go through that. Obviously, I didn't go
Mhm.
through that. It was raw and it was super emotional, but it wasn't a physical toll.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I think also like the village is so important. Like for me, I knew that I needed a baby nurse
Yeah.
for my baby because I knew I wasn't going to know anything.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people that don't ask for help and don't like prioritize, setting aside for help. And
Yeah.
then they obviously want to murder their husbands.
Our baby nurse lived with us until our daughter was 7.
Stop.
Yeah, I swear to God.
That's amazing. Oh my God, she must have been great. What is a non-negotiable that is sacred to the two of you guys?
Fidelity.
That's really interesting.
Mhm.
Tell me more because, nowadays that is not something that. Oh, no worries.
No worries.
Just let us know when. Thank you. I'm going to ask you that again. Say the same
Yeah.
thing. That's really good.
So Lindsay, just ask that question again for
Yep.
editing purposes.
What is a non-negotiable that is sacred to the two of you guys?
Fidelity.
So interesting because nowadays I wouldn't say it's more rare, but especially in the gay community,
100%.
so why, like, what is it that you gravitate towards that? And how do you make it work in a world that is so different now?
I mean, you're right. Among our friends, we're rare and that we don't have an open relationship. I mean, I think that um, it's just something that we discussed very early on, and he's all I need and I'm all he needs. Also, I think we're both so, well, I'm jealous, so that wouldn't work at all. He doesn't like to admit that he is, but I think he is too. It just won't work.
Yeah.
It just won't work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not how we define our relationship.
Yeah.
Fine for anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be in a relationship with anyone that was important to them.
Do you have the possibility of ever changing that?
No.
Like as a
Yuck.
mm-hmm.
I don't think if there was, we would face any situation together as a couple,
Right.
but I don't see that being like a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cut to the like Us Weekly story. But I really don't. It's just, it's just not something that's ever been on the table for either of us, or either something that either of us really have ever wanted.
That's amazing. And you've never felt like you always felt the trust was there from the beginning.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's crucial for that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I find that my straight couple friends are so threatened by my gays who are like willing to kind of go back and forth to be open and close. And it's just also interesting to me. Every couple is so different. And my husband and I are, faithful, closed, whatever it's called. But I would have a conversation again in 7 years of just like making sure we're still feeling good about it.
Absolutely. You know what? It's funny. It comes up as life changes.
Mm-hmm.
Like he went and filmed Queer Eye in Vegas and we were there 2 weeks and 2 weeks on. And when life is not consistent, you have to flex in order to accommodate the evolution of your partner. And so he's flexed for me. I've flexed for him. I'm different than I was 12 years ago when we got married. And he's totally different. He was 26 when we met. He's like a completely different person. But I do think that there's an understanding of each other's fundamental values, not as it pertains to fidelity, but also as it pertains to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Parenting and, honesty and evolution and communication. And so we work on that. We really work on that. It's constant. And there's periods where we get along great, and there's periods that feel really easy and second nature. And there's periods where I think we're just like not connected that way. It's not a flow, but the desire never leaves to be connected. And I think that that's probably, at least in our marriage, the most important thing.
Totally.
Like he's my favorite person.
Yeah.
Period. Like we have so much fun together. I can't imagine starting over with someone else.
Right.
And I'm also like a bit of a lesbian. Like I've always been in long-term relationships, and so it's not, I still am friends with most of the people that I've dated.
Right.
Say everybody, but most.
And he's okay with that?
I mean, ish.
Mm-hmm.
But again, there's like boundaries. I wouldn't go on a trip with them.
Right. Right.
I wouldn't do anything, but he would be probably not comfortable.
Yeah. And you would be fine with him being friends with his exes?
Yeah, because I trust him.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like it would, but like what does friends mean again? Like, a spa retreat? No.
Right.
Dinner? Sure.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing that I feel like is it, and you tell me if you agree with it's a double standard with straight couples and gay couples. Like my husband shouldn't be friends with his exes, and I shouldn't really be friends with my exes, but my gays, like their ex is over for dinner.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why that is. It's so funny. Jer's exes aren't over for dinner.
Right.
Mine are, which is like a weird, I'm not sure why. I can't even answer that question.
Right.
And my sister, who is the only girl in the family, one of her best friends from college married her ex-boyfriend, and they're still super close. They're all really good friends. They hang out all the time. And I always say to my sister, like, he's the one that got away. And she's like, yeah, but no, like they can have each other. Like it's just a really, I don't know. Like I guess it's just.
That's so evolved of your sister, but I bet she was the one that ended it.
She did.
Because if it were the other way around, she might feel a type of way.
Yeah.
What is something that you learned from Oprah that has stuck with you that was just like such a good nugget of wisdom?
God, I mean, being part of that show for 15 years, I learned something every single time I was there. I mean, I can give you like my laundry list of things, like right off the top of my head.
Give me a few.
Everybody wants to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be seen.
Yeah.
When you're on TV, it's not about you. You're like the vessel, like it comes through you. She said to me once, no one cares about, I had written my very first book when I was on the Oprah show, and she was like, read the first pass, and she was like, no. And I was like, why? And she's like, because nobody cares about the fact that you like small hand-stitched vintage leather goods. She's like, turn the light back to the audience. She's like, no. And, you know, she's masterful at believing that everybody is the same and acting accordingly. There's a reverence and respect around her as a person and what she's built and who she's created and what she's read and written and spoken that I think she's earned. She's just like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, we have funny drunk dinners and she says crazy shit and she's one of the funniest people I've ever met. But but she was very good at clarity. Yeah. Her own clarity. Coming clean, being clear on how she felt about something. And I would probably say that was the best lesson that I left that era with. Right. It's like, you know, she'd always say like, what do you want? And so people have such a hard time answering that question. Yeah. They apologize, they get weird, they not sure if they should want that or admit it and everything. But if you can't articulate that clearly, even to yourself, then how are you going to get it?
Yeah, that's so true. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Ever.
You mentioned obviously Rachel Zoe being part of your love story. Are you guys still close, and are you excited for her Housewives debut?
So excited about it. I can't even believe it. You know, I've known her as such a private person. I think it's kind of a genius move. She knows all of those women, obviously, but I can't wait to see her on this season.
Yeah, she's going to kill it.
Kill it.
Would you ever be able to return the favor and set her up?
Oh, I mean, 100%, of course.
Yeah, if you had someone worthy.
It's so funny that you asked me that because there was this guy that I used to know in Chicago who's like loaded and really sweet. Yeah. And I was at dinner with him and a group of friends the other night, and I was like looking at him across the table. He's like fun and open and charming and like a real person. And I was like, I wonder if they would like each other. So maybe
TBD. I love it. What is one piece of advice you'd give for people designing a relationship that lasts?
I mean, I think we've covered it. You know,
communication.
Yeah, just like you know, take the mystery. I mean, I don't like all that stuff, like that old Cosmo shit of like, make yourself mysterious, like, you know, wear a new perfume, wonder, and then get really bummed out when no one notices. But like, I don't know, I don't buy that. Right. I think honesty and like integrity and clarity is really sexy.
I agree, but I do not think, and tell me because this is controversial, I don't think you need to share your location with your partner.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I mean, kids, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh my
I mean,
God,
like I'd like to have my kids chipped.
When I hand them their phones for the first time, it's going to have their location.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah. If you walked into someone's apartment on, let's say, a first date, you know, back in the day, what would be the biggest green or red flag in their space?
Green is that it's clean.
Green
red
is good.
Is that it's dirty.
Oh. What about headboards? Like straight men don't have headboards.
Don't care. All that stuff I wouldn't care about, but if somebody's a pig, I can't do it.
Right. But there's a difference between dirty and messy.
True.
Do you care about messy?
I care about both.
Right.
Yeah. When I saw Jeremiah's house in LA for the first time, when we had first met, I didn't see it for the first like 5 months that we were dating. And then I was in LA for work and I was like, can I come over? And he was like, yeah. It was so cute, but it was like also spotless. And the distance between every hanger was the same in his closet. Like it was perfect, color coded, like the whole thing. And I actually do remember thinking to myself, wow, this actually is going to work.
Uh-huh.
It was not quite, it was a touch of false advertising
Well, I was gonna say he
because
totally
the gym
staged
clothes
that.
weren't on the floor.
Yeah, he totally staged that for you to come
I mean,
over.
obviously he had been to my home in New York, so he
Uh-huh.
saw that my hangers were all, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but it worked.
Yeah, totally. How do you think someone's personal space reflects their dating life or relationship style?
I think, okay, I'm going to answer that in twofold. One, you actually have to be careful of people like me because there's like if there's a rigidity in the routine in the space, then and there's nothing open to somebody else stepping in.
Right.
I think that's a really scary, dangerous thing. However, if their space is like really disgusting and like all of my women friends who are like, oh, he was so great at dinner. And then I went home and his like sheets smelled like cheese. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Then that's so gross. Like it shows such a lack of respect for the other person and for yourself even, it's like bad hygiene.
Yeah.
So I can't get on board with that.
Right.
It's really cute. Like straight guys that try to have a great place that aren't actually secretly gay are awesome.
Well, maybe you can help me with this. So we do have a neat space for the most part, but what we struggle with, and maybe you have some sort of tip, is, I get, let's say like PR packages or just things come in. Like I go to an event, I get a gift bag, whatever. And then things start accumulating on like the coffee table.
Yeah.
How do you immediately just put everything away so that nothing is ever out?
We just had this argument because we're planning another renovation and I'm like building this room as the entry closet that has like shelving for packages that go in and out and shelving for donation that goes in and out because we have the same stuff all the time. We bring it to the office and just set it on the main like counter and I'm like, guys, does anybody dying for a non-stick pan?
Yeah.
Does anybody want, mousse?
Uh-huh.
But I'm a pretty fierce editor. I really do only keep what I know we're going to use.
Yeah.
And we'll try stuff. Like Chris McMillan just sent his whole new product line to us.
Mm-hmm.
And, that stays. Like we brought it upstairs. I'm like, what is glossy hairspray formula? I'm like, this is so cool. But if we try a product and we don't like it, then it's out.
Yeah.
But I love donating stuff.
Yeah,
And our kids are trained to donate stuff. They don't get a new toy unless they get rid of something.
That's so smart. I need to use that. What's one design trend that you'd banish forever?
Well, I hate trends because I think trends are designed to make people feel bad about what they didn't buy. I write a lot about that in my new book, Foundations, because I think that we're all like as a society, just like on this train where we're watching design TV and watching Instagram and, liking photos and saving things into files and all of that stuff. And then we look around at our own spaces and we're just so disappointed in ourselves. And I think that that's really largely trend driven. I've spent the last 30 years in design, not listening to the Pantone color of the year, not caring what the Wool Bureau had to say. But I would say, like, honestly, it's every trend.
Yeah.
I think it's so lame. Like, why is there a trend in your home should tell your story.
Yeah.
Your home should be a reflection of like who you are and who you aspire to be and where you've been and who you love and who you've lost. It should tell your whole history and everything about just like how you dress. Like that should be representative of your personality. So the idea of, I mean, trying things that are new and that are in a wave of like popularity, sure. But chasing the trend in home is just such a waste of time and money.
How do you feel about the art that turns into a TV and back into art?
Well, it's just like a screensaver.
Sure.
It's the Samsung
Yeah,
frame.
yeah.
I mean, I'm into it, but there's like a button you can press to upload like a family photo or a photo that you've taken. I don't need to live with like Monet's haystacks
Yeah.
if I don't own the actual painting.
Right. hmm what is something you can do for your home to make it look expensive if can't
This is super good.
actually make it?
This, I talk a lot about this in the book as well. Vintage.
Mm.
And it doesn't have to be, I'm not a snob about where I shop at all. Conversely, like you'll find me at Century 21, like digging through racks before you'll find me at Bergdorf, and I have things at Bergdorf for sale. So
Right.
I love the high, the low, all of that. But with vintage, my first Google search when I land in any city, town, country, village is like local crafts, local antiques. I love like a big multi-dealer antiques mall where you have to keep running to the front desk or find somebody to like open the case. I think when you design with vintage, it just like automatically has some patination, some history, some story around it. It doesn't feel like your neighbor's. Like I hate a bookshelf of new accessories just because you have a empty shelves. So, you're just going to buy this bowl. It's like you could fill those bookshelves at an antiques mall
Right.
in Connecticut for less than the price of one dumb bowl from a retailer.
Right. And the bowl probably, like the vintage bowls probably look nicer than
Way nicer.
Yeah. So funny because I literally did that.
You did?
Uh-huh.
You just went and bought all new stuff to fill the bookshelf?
Like just a few like tchotchkes,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I always say this on the podcast because one of our sponsors is an interior like article,
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
And I'm like, I have no idea how to design like my interiors. I am. It's so bad. But I've had help from people who do, thank God. But I have fucking no clue. So
That's so funny.
I really admire.
Well, I mean, I admire people who have a skill set in anything. I mean, that I don't have. I tried to make Rice Krispie treats for my kids the other day and they were inedible.
No.
I swear to God. And there's three ingredients.
Yeah. Well, the key is you got to over-index on the marshmallow.
Didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Burnt the butter.
Mm-hmm.
They hardened in this like weird way. Didn't butter the pan. I mean, like my kids were like, we ate it while it was hot.
Right.
And they were like, you did such a great job, Dad. It was so awesome.
Uh-huh.
And like 3 minutes later, they were like inedible. I had to like I wanted to throw the pan away. I did wash it. But like, I was like, I can't believe I'm this bad in the kitchen. But I have friends who can do a dinner for 20 people
Right.
with a trip to the farmer's market. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
My ear would fall off trying to
that's
figure out how to
crazy.
do that.
That's wild. All right, we do these fun rapid fire questions. They have really nothing to do with anything except for dating, and just these are people scenarios that they want input on. Okay. You went on an amazing date with someone and you're aligned on everything, but they just got out of a relationship and they're going on a trip with the ex. Should you be worried?
Yes.
Yeah.
So scary.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Your good friend's bachelorette party is 5 hours away, same time as your fiance's cousin's wedding. Which do you go to?
Girlfriend's bachelorette. It's like girl code, right? How long have you been friends?
Yeah. I mean, also, it's like your fiance's
Fiance's cousin.
Like
Like who
it's a
knows if you
cousin.
right.
Yeah. Your friend has a crush on their colleague. She can't tell if he's flirting with her or just is a playful guy. Should she make the move since he's in a senior leadership role or wait for him to do something?
I think she should make the move.
I agree, but everyone else says she should wait for him.
What? Why are we waiting for anything?
I agree, but I mean, what if she gets fired though?
By what's the move, by the way? She's not like coming with like
Right,
a box to
right,
dance on.
right,
And like
right,
a like a boom box. I mean, the move could just be like,
Like,
hey, do you want to
wanna
grab
a
dinner
drink?
someday?
Yeah.
Or some, do you want to go for a coffee?
Mhm.
That like, and if she can tell that it's not going down,
Right.
you can back away from that so easily.
Yeah, so true.
Like I just was curious about my career,
Right. Just wanted your
whatever.
advice.
Right. It's just I didn't
If
really
you've
wanted to see your dick.
If you've been on a bachelor week or bachelorette weekend trip, was there girl drama?
Yeah. Oh my God. Every time.
What is the rule on wearing jewelry from an ex? It's fine or not okay?
Sell it on the real. You know what I mean? Like just I don't think it's fine.
Yeah. What if it's like really good jewelry?
Sell it and buy something that's also really good.
Yeah. Or just like, what if you sold it and bought the same thing again?
Fine.
It was just the meaning of selling it.
Or yeah, just I don't like that.
Mhm.
It's funny. I collect vintage jewelry, and I've bought. My husband wears this huge stack on his wrist of like all these amazing bracelets that he loves, and I've become used to it. But like, I bought him a vintage Cartier love bracelet when we first started dating, and he was like, "But whose was this?"
Yeah.
He's like, "That's so." He's like, "I don't feel like this is the kind of thing that you buy vintage,
That's
but
so funny.
I only buy vintage." So I was like, "What do you?" But it's weird. Like,
If you're using a public bathroom and you finish the toilet paper, do you replace the roll?
is it like accessible to you, or do you have to like
you
call?
see it. You see it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah,
You'd be surprised. No one does it.
that's inexcusable.
I agree. This was so much fun. Can you leave us with a quote or piece of advice, even though you've already given us so much?
Oh my God, my pleasure. I would say design is meant to be really fun. Design is really meant to be another like way for you to express the best side of yourself, and never underestimate the power of living well.
I love that. Where can everyone find you? Read the book and follow you?
Instagram, Nate Berkus. The book's pre-sale available at Rizzoli right now, signed copies. But I mean, we're going to do a good job with this book. It should be everywhere. It's called Foundations. And it really is kind of like a thank you note that I've written to everybody who's ever bought a bath mat with my name on it.
I love it. Thank you so much, Nate.
Thanks.
You were awesome. Of course. Thanks. It was really fun. Boris, let's take a quick photo. Do you guys mind taking?
I'm going to stay right here in this lighting.
Yes, don't go anywhere. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can I get one with the book? Someone like
Yeah. Careful.
Yeah, exactly. Like scenario.
Oh, no,
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
we're gonna take this one.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. This was great. Do you want to do one of the video like we did last time? Like a little.
I was just thinking you should do a TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
great.
Wait, let me find our sound.
Like last time we did, like, hey guys, I just wrapped up.
Yeah.
Acne.